So you just were out driving?
No, I don't want to live with that.
Okay. Did you come up to see somebody today?
Somebody invited me to come over.
Well, who was that?
Cheyenne something.
How'd you meet Cheyenne?
I was online and came up.
When you were online, do you do that at home, or do you
I do it at home.
do it at home?
Yes.
Is that generally the only place you do it?
Yes.
What do you have your own personal computer or laptop?
Yes.
Is it-
Both.
Oh, do you have both?
Actually, I have two laptops.
Two laptops?
It's my business.
Okay, it's your business. Okay.
What type of business?
I do web pages for University of Cincinnati. I have access to those. I need to have access to those in order to do businesses with them.
And you usually use all those computers to chat to people, or chat, or just use one specific, or
Usually at home.
like you use it at home? And
If I do chat,
If you
which
do.
I don't need. But that, again, because the fact of the business that I'm in, chat is a part of what I do, and chat is a part of University of Cincinnati distance learning. And I need to be able to access that in order to be able to do the business I do with them.
So you met Cheyenne.
I didn't meet Shine. She came after me.
Okay, she came after you. Tell me about that.
I don't know. I don't exactly know what happened at all. I have no recollection at all what happened for her to make contact with me. I don't know. Was I on some line of some sort? I have no idea.
So you were chatting, and she came on to you while you were chatting sometimes.
Well, somebody, who that Cheyenne was.
Do you know how old Cheyenne was?
She told me she was 13, but and I was very, very, very. I don't do that.
You don't do that?
I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm not there.
Not there.
Not at all. I'd be happy doing like being an 18, 19-year-old and 13-year-olds.
Not your thing. And when you were talking to Cheyenne on the chat line, what you guys talk about?
Well, and up until this afternoon, which was what I gave in for, I thought she was more like an adult, but I was very, very cautious not to be there. I didn't want to be there. I really don't. That's not my kind of thing. I don't like it. I don't want it.
You might have a little curiosity.
No, I don't even.
Which is normal.
I'm not even curiosity. I don't have any curiosity about it. It's too young. It's stupid. And now you can go back and look at all the records of the conversations I've had. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It's stupid. I don't. That's not what I want to do. I don't even. That's not me. No, not at all.
Do you have any type of webcam or anything like that?
Do you have a webcam?
Do you ever use it for any purposes?
It's available. Use it. I don't know what that means.
So we didn't get into what you guys talked about. What you guys talked about?
I was very, very up until today, which is obviously the results. I have been very, very cautious in not talking about me. I do not want to be involved with a 13-year-old. I do not like it, to be honest. And for some reason, I just relaxed and
So who do you think you were talking to?
person. So it's perfect. And that's honest with you, and for whatever worth value it is. I cannot condone the statements that I would have made this afternoon. I wish I could retract them, not because of you guys, but because of the fact that I just, it's not me. I don't see it.
Jim, I understand. And I understand you made a mistake. I've read the chats.
You can see how.
I see here where you told her you wanted to fuck around. And that you.
We're in what further step? I mean, we can go down.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into details of the thing. I understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
No, I hear what you're saying.
I'm just trying to understand here.
I did not meet with her, number one. Number two, I didn't really want to meet with her. I really, if you go to the bottom lines of things, let's talk about facts that I denied, and I did not want to do that. I really did not want to.
Jim, I know you're under a lot of pressure right now.
I'm not
sure
under
your wife.
pressure at all. I'm really not. I mean, obviously, there's a little bit of pressure, but that's not.
Are you married?
Yes. No. God, no. You want it, you can have it. Okay.
I got one of my own. That's enough for me.
Yeah, this is just get random.
I'm not trying to give you any ammunition. No, this is just me, you, and Kate here. Okay.
Well, it's not. But
Well,
I did not do anything with this, whatever this person is, whoever it is. I did not intentionally meet with. I know this person because this person, whoever it is, male or female, whatever, enticed me to the point where I wanted to. And
did you? So you guys did talk about sexual acts in your conversation.
I don't know. You can go back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking.
I don't know. I really don't know. It doesn't really, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter.
Jim, I'm just trying to figure out what really happened. Because if we don't talk about it now, and if I just give this to somebody, they're going to think you are a sick, maybe possibly a child predator, and I don't think you're that thing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not. But if we don't talk about it, what else? What else can I tell people and say, Jim made a mistake. This is what
follow
happened.
through, number one. Number two, because the fact that I didn't follow through is I'm not so sure that I would have turned down the street. If you check back on the records, on the results, there have been at least three times where I turned around. And I don't do this. I don't, number one, I don't really want to. Okay. Give me some sex, okay? And I'll find ways to do the sex, but don't come in. This is
If nobody stopped you tonight, what do you think might have happened?
absolutely nothing. And I'll be honest with you about that. I do nothing. So what happened? Okay. This is a door. This door.
to as nice as any. Jim, we're just trying to be honest with each other.
I went to a swingers club last night in North County.
What's that? In Dayton, Ohio?
Dayton. I walked out. And the reason I walked out is because, it's not for me. I'm not selective. I don't want to think of it as being selective. I think there's some satisfaction somewhere. And I'm not looking, and again, my own motivation is not to just who's interested in me. Okay, not young, not old, not that, not thin, not someone who is interested in me. And that's what
And how long have you and your wife been divorced? Or been separated? Or?
we divorced for 2000, almost 5 years.
5 years?
I've had relationships with everybody. It's not a sexual thing.
What is it?
There's somebody, and I guess, and I put this out. Maybe this isn't the right place for doing it. Cheyenne, whoever Cheyenne is, some George down the hall, talked to me. And when that person talked to me, it was a person. Now, I have other people that I talk to, and for whatever that's worth, and I don't want to bring them into this, but
Makes you feel busy.
it kept me away from my loneliness that I had when I'm sitting there in my house to myself.
Somebody talk to you.
Yeah.
You feel that lonely feeling.
Whatever, however that comments itself.
And you should try and fill that, be fulfilling that need.
Yeah, but then it turns around because it is this crap. Which I understand. I don't. I think
So
there's
you
a
live
need
alone.
there's a need for people out there, and that need is fulfilled by and law enforcement. By the way, I'm in criminal justice. I'll tell you that. That's a bottom line. But I am. I at UC I work with criminal justice. There is a need for people in the society to have a connection with someone, and I don't care. I don't know where the connection comes from. I think it's crucial, and that's where I got fucked up. But don't judge me on that.
I'm not judging you.
I know you're right. I know, but eventually I will be. So yeah, and I know that system how it works.
But Jim, I can understand that, when you're feeling lonely, feel like you have, you just live by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel that lonely, and you go home every night, feeling lonely. You talk to Cheyenne.
Or whoever.
And whoever, you're chatting with Cheyenne here. You feel like you can feel open to say things.
Right. And I don't, and I think it's unfair of the justice systems to condemn me for talking to somebody. It's unrelated. I know that's what you think. My relationship was created by my relationship to Cheyenne was because of the fact that I closed that out. And I fault you guys with that because of the investigations or how you do that is that person who's making those communications starts to connect with the person. And that connection that you make is not, and maybe even for other people, is not, it's really negative. But with a person like me, it connects. There's somebody who's talking. And you do what you have to do. Just put them together. I'm to the point, I'm lonely. I'm not going to actually put them like I would do that anyway. I have people who don't want to talk to me. So I have somebody who's Cheyenne who talks to whoever it is, yeah, maybe I want to do it. But I did. Okay.
So you spend a lot of time chatting? I guess it's relative.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, probably a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. And most of it's not chatting. Most of it's just trying to find on the list.
Yeah.
And I think that's a major problem too.
What do you generally talk about with Cheyenne or other people? Just whatever comes up?
Music. It really is. I'm really being honest about it. I don't think it's going to go any further. I'm trying to do this great, wonderful thing. You're going to find out the answers to the world and chatting, but it's a whole world out there, and I have some real problems with what's going on right here. And I think it's infringing invasion of privacy. Not in terms of the younger age. I think that somebody else should have stopped that before I did.
Well, I'm not a chatter.
Okay.
So if you could educate me a little bit on,
Okay. I'll
where would you go to find
in the
somebody
case
to talk
in the case of the Cheyenne, that was done through Yahoo Messenger, who has duration. If you are in these sessions, adult. And in that regard, that's where I will come off with, because I think it's not fair for you to come out. Except for the fact that up front, because of the way you guys do the way you make sure that you say it's perfect. But it shouldn't be imperfect. If it's going to be something that legally binds Yahoo or Google or whoever it happens to be an adult place to go, then if I go there and you can say that you're 13, why are you there in the first place? How did you get through that first level? And I really have a problem. I know you guys have heard this over and over and over.
I'm really interested in knowing how this chat thing works and how you met Cheyenne. What
I
type,
I
is there?
don't have any idea, go back to that, I don't know what initiated the first conversation with Cheyenne. I don't remember. It could have been 3 weeks ago, it could have been a week ago, I have no idea. But I know that maybe I went through and I looked and I went down my a list of people who were adult humans, and I said, hey, you're interested in puppies? Oh, webcam there. And she got the name came up.
So you could tell that they had a webcam?
Yes. You can tell.
Okay. So that's something that you look for
No,
when you
no,
talk
no,
to
no,
people?
I don't, no, I don't look for it. I don't
Oh,
look for
okay.
it. No, I look for somebody to talk to. You know, and,
But if they have a webcam, even better.
no, it doesn't really matter. It
Oh.
really doesn't matter. It means that they're probably prosecuting the stuff. Most likely, it means it doesn't mean a damn thing at all.
So what happens after that? So, like,
Okay, I put up a message out, and they respond. And
What happens after that? I'm not tech savvy.
okay. So Cheyenne responds. She says, "Hi, how are you? Hi. Yeah, what you doing?" And it goes from there. And then, you know, if they're in the legal system and they're taking care of their little niches that they need to take care of, so well, I'm not good. Oh, that's okay. Put my coffee. What's going on? I was full of it. And I don't mean that. It sounds so trite. And it doesn't mean, in terms of me, I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher. Done it. How was your school today? Is not, well, let me get in, fuck you. It's not real. It's understanding that person. And I guess that's what they are.
Because they have social needs too,
They
just
have
like
social
you.
needs. Here, okay, and then in what is presented to me from Cheyenne or who is here's this girl, supposed girl, who supposedly going through a divorce, whose parents are separated, not as an opportunity for me as a predator to go after them, but as a person to try and answer questions.
You're helping them.
Except for, like I said this afternoon, which I and I only went overboard because of the fact that I personally was frustrated.
So do you see your role as helping them through their life as well as them helping you?
I'm always doing it. That's the first time.
That's what you've done for many years. I mean, you've helped people,
30, 40 years. And not on the internet, but yeah.
Well, I'm not saying. I'm not saying in your life. In your lifetime, you've helped many people.
To my colleague that's next door to me, I'm helping those people at the Institute. I'm not a bad and I didn't hurt her. I hurt whoever this something was. And I knew it. I don't know, maybe in the back of my mind, I knew it. And in the back of my mind,
You knew what was bad. Oh, talking with her was a setup?
From the beginning. And in that frame, I was hoping that it wasn't. But in the good nature that I am, I really wanted to help.
How are you going to help her? tonight?
I don't know. Tonight,
Mhm.
talk with her. Talk with her about this divorce thing and what parents are going through. I mean, really, yeah, that was was.
You think it could have been more?
Got it. Okay. And let me go back to the cover last week. I went to, like I said, Swingers Club last night in Dayton. I want that. Pretty one there. That's such.
But in your chat, you asked if she would have sex.
Well, only because trying to get that corner into her to let loose and I don't know, maybe in the wrong, maybe in the bad sense of things, maybe it was it. But I don't think it was. I wouldn't follow through.
He was more trying to get a connection with him.
Yeah, I really do. I think she just doesn't really understand. She doesn't really.
She's trying to figure life out, and you're trying to help her figure that life out.
At least in my sense of it.
In your mind.
I would have. The last thing I wanted to do is come over here to Parent County and meet a 13-year-old. Give me a break. Last night I could have had two women. Why would I want to do that?
But tonight you were just trying to help somebody.
I really feel I was trying to do that. I really am. And I turned her down twice. If you read those damn emails, I turned her down twice. I'm not coming. I'm scared. I don't want to do it. It's too much for me to do.
Yeah.
And I really felt that way. But I was trying to. She was so certain. Now again, this that. And this is the part the father's provoking to get me to do. Without that provoking, I would have. She should have backed off. If it had been backed off, I would not even.
Yeah, but she must have really needed you for you.
No,
to,
not
for
she.
her to-
Whoever it is. Let's make it clear.
Right, but what you thought was that she needed you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I go back to that in relationship to the police department versus criminal custody. You gotta watch out how far you take that, because there are people who do care about other people, and I'm. You can write off this thing. You can take me to court and all that. I wasn't even like that.
And I don't think you were.
I wasn't. There's no question about it.
Jim, I honestly think you were not going to hurt Cheyenne or whoever you thought you were going to meet tonight. Yeah, I know you're not going to hurt her. Right? I know that.
No, I wasn't.
I don't think you had any.
I had more intention of hurting myself than I did.
But you needed to fill a void.
No. It's not a void. I don't want to make it a void. I got people I talk to someplace. Okay.
What a need.
I have a need to help people. Maybe that's closer to it than filling a void. Because I do have people who have problems, and I have no problem. But
Relationships are hard, and it sounds like that the connection that you were making with her, she was innocent, you were innocent, you were just trying to help her, and it just got out of hand.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and it's much easier to talk to a younger person because they're more open and understanding.
But see, and again, this is the lesson I have communicated. You're playing a role. or whoever is playing the role of something that they're not. And when they play that role, they got all this stuff in there, all this garbage, not garbage, it's not really garbage, it's really experience. They got that behind them, and they're manipulating all those things. And with a person or a good, successful officer who is doing this, a good officer, and we'll use that a little bit so they can be innocent to bring it in. But the eternal problem is the person from the outside who comes in. They don't see it as that person who has all that control. And therefore, relax, give up levels of intensity that they might not have if they were talking to like that. And therefore, because of relaxing that intensity, maybe some things out that need to get out, but also go, in my case, go overboard. And expect that person who's on the other side, who is intelligent enough and has the experience enough to really understand what's going on there, makes a critical judgment instead of an emotional judgment on what's happening to a person like me. I don't know if that makes sense. Do what you have to do. I don't really care. I mean, I really do. It's either going to crush my life or it's going to ruin it. Where you're going to go.
I think by getting it off your shoulders and talking about it, I think you're making a step somewhere. I mean,
I'm not trying to get some damn 13-year-old in my bed. That's not it. If I want to get somebody in my bed, I go to the swingers club. I go to the people I date, which I go to 3 or 4 that I normally date, and I can do that. I'm not a predator. I'm not that in that involvement. I don't like eating that. There's a little problem with that position. I'm sorry. It's like young guys, little guys. No, put them over there.
That's not your thing.
Okay, it really is something.
That's not your thing.
But it's not. But beyond not my thing, it's I don't. There are people out there who do it, and that's not really. I'm really.
You know, Jim, if I thought that was you, I wouldn't waste my time here with you. Because if I felt that way, I'd say, you know what? Jim's like that, throw you away, and out the door I go.
Okay, let me give you another example. I taught music for 30 years. I have never been arrested in 31 years for any kind of child impersonation. In the 31 years, I've seen many kids go through the system. Kids who control play.
So when you were online chatting and you felt that you felt like you were talking to somebody who possibly did understand and probably had some experiences, you felt like you could let go, right?
You know, it's funny, to put it in perspective over the last couple of weeks, I did not feel that way until tonight. And I don't know what made that difference. I have no idea what made that difference. But I felt like maybe it's a movement on the part of the people whoever did it to kind of motivate me to go that direction. I really was very, very cautious of not letting any information now, not even promotions. And so,
You know, you felt,
I guess I was
looking
looking,
free.
I was just I was part of playing games and doing the things and just kind of talking and just, okay, you want to talk, you want to get together, here's my phone number, you want to talk, I'll do it. I mean, really, it's.
And you let your guard.
I let my guard
You let
down.
your guard down.
I let my guard down only because of the fact that I had my guard up for weeks. And only, and through that guard that I had, I thought maybe she needs some help. Maybe she needs to talk to someone. Maybe she was moving in a direction that I could help her in some way. Really, that's the honest.
And what did you want to talk to her about? Regards to.
I wanted to open up those channels. I don't know where she was in that regard. I wanted to open it up so she could talk to me. And she in the past she was guarded too.
And she. Yeah, I mean, you talked about a lot of things. You said you talked about, different things.
Mm-hmm.
How much did you guys talk about? I know you said you let your guard down. And you fell in love. How many times did you guys talk about sex?
Nothing until then. That I'm aware of.
Are you aware of?
I don't remember anything the connotation of that. If it was like really off the wall.
Off the wall?
Yeah, it wasn't like it was as straightforward as
So what do you consider straight, kind of off the wall? Just something that you remember?
I don't remember specifically.
Okay. You just off the wall things, maybe about to a blow job or anything like that, or
Talking about what kind of relationship she had with her boyfriend.
you guys go deeper than that?
Did it touch you? That's about the extent. That's about the long.
Did she ever talk to you about going deeper than that? I mean,
Not until then. And I'm not sure she really went that far with me. That's what I was going, which is not wrong. I'm sorry.
what do you guys want to talk tonight? Just kind of seem like everything.
I don't know what it was about me. Maybe it's just a commonality or just a talking over a period of time, which is probably a lot of it.
Kind of culminated. Over a couple
No,
of
it
weeks.
wasn't a culmination. It was more. It was more of a a relaxed nature between two people. As I said, it wasn't a culmination of things. It was more of a relaxed nature of. Understand what
So you felt like you were on the same page.
Yeah, that we could talk about something.
And you were open. You guys were open.
I agree with that. I think for some reason it became more open tonight than ever before. And but again, I jump on the gas too. I just because that what I needed, whether it was China or good luck, I needed somebody to talk to, and instead of somebody to talk to, I talk to. I understand. I don't criticize you. Don't understand. Don't misunderstand.
I understand.
It's a real social, and it's a real social problem. And how often not? You do this every night.
You know, this is, Jim, like I said before, we're just trying to get out what happened tonight and what's going to happen. And, you know, I understand that you've had a rough time. You needed to talk to somebody. You could have went out with 2 women or 3 women the other night.
15. I mean,
Right.
the other night,
Yeah.
2 nights, I think.
Talk to Cheyenne, make her feel good. Kind of let you.
It solved the problem, but it didn't solve the problem in terms of, I didn't do anything, I said, God.
And when you, then tonight was just a culmination of, you know, you felt like, you know, hey, maybe, you know, maybe I need to see her. Maybe she can actually, I can open up.
And that's exactly, and that is really essentially it. You know, would it come to in some sexual thing? I'm not going to say it wouldn't, but I'm on the other side of me, which it wouldn't. It would not have, it would never reach that point because of course mine. And because I would never take advantage of it. If you go back on those and you see it, how many times I've asked you, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? And the reason why is because I didn't know. I didn't know. She was young, supposedly. She was young and did not want to do that. I really, this young thing.
I don't think you said you did not. I know you did not. And you went there tonight, see her, help her out, you know, and things could have, you know, but you would. I don't think if anything would have happened, and I'm talking anything, you would have never hurt her. Jim, I know. You would. That's not you. But, you were there for her. You were trying to be there for her. You came here for that reason, to be there for her tonight.
And let's be realistic about that too. I came here to be for her, possibly sexually too. And but I don't know if I could ever have done that. I don't think I could ever. I mean, I'm serious. I've gone through, I told you this, when swingers stuff. So I've been dating. I have gone there twice, and I've walked away because, no, that's not what I want. I want to go to some place and meet somebody who really, really needs what I am, not my dick. You know?
He wants you for you. Wants Jim.
Yeah, and I'll do a couple of throw that. Details on that, but there are people in my life who would do anything for me to just give up everything I have and just go with them. But I won't do it. And there are other people on the side who need every bit of me. And I can't give them that because I've got this other person who really needs me, who won't say that thing.
And tonight.
Sounds like there's a lot of relationship issues going on for
Absolutely.
you right now.
Oh, absolutely. I have no question. I can be specific about it. You want specific, or you want to talk about legality. I have a girlfriend who won't get married, who doesn't want to see me except for on the weekends when she wants to get fucked. I have another woman who would love for me to just move in with her. I can't live with her because she's not there. She's not. I want this one to come over and she met her. So what I did, juggle phone calls. Then we add in the other emotions that, okay, so I can't satisfy any one of the, I can see you're gone on this. You have no clue what I'm talking about. But this it's all going on.
But these are your feelings.
Yeah.
These are your feelings.
Well, no, they're beyond my feelings. They're people who affect my feelings. And there are people who you're down on their knees and say, stop this. And they show up crying, and everybody else is doing
Tonight.
as I said, I don't care. I don't want to be involved in some of the legal shit. I've been there before. Not maybe, but I know what's it. I know what's shit. And
But you wouldn't be there for it.
I wanted to help somebody out. I wanted somebody. Her mother was not around. Her father was not around, and she didn't know what to do.
And she had emotional feelings, sexual feelings.
Mm-hmm.
She had a multitude of feelings.
Right. And I could answer some of those by my dialogue. And that's right.
But right now, we're talking about it, and that's the main point. I mean, you could come in there and say that,
I still feel sabotaged.
I'm not trying to sabotage you.
But I feel sabotaged because of the fact that I'm not out there fucking the 13-year-olds and or getting them drunk and taking them up to hotels and as we always see in the newspaper. I'm not doing that, and I don't have a desire to do.
But you felt a connection tonight.
I
Tonight was,
she needed,
and she needed you, and you,
and I needed her in some sense. I needed to be able to
let yourself go.
No. I needed to.
To help her.
There's a need.
To help her.
I needed to fulfill a need of somebody. And I've always done it all my life. I never go back to history with my school. And it's always that, trying to find somebody to help somebody. And I really felt that. That's not an issue, it's just the way I feel.
Bullshit. I mean, if that's the way you feel, I don't think that's bullshit.
Well, I know, but on the outside of it, people look at it and see.
But you have feelings. I mean, you'd be inhuman if you didn't have feelings. And tonight was about feelings.
It was?
Tonight was about feelings, and tonight was about you trying to help someone who you thought you needed.
Help them is to people.
And you wanted to share.
I wanted to
With
be able after the discussion of the recovery, if it's sexual or whatever it has to be, I wanted to share that this is how I would see it. What do you need? Where do we go from there? How does my role change with you?
You know, Jim, you've said several times that, you feel sabotaged. Mm-hmm. We're not here to make life harder for you. I mean, you're in the situation that you're in, and right now we have an opportunity to talk through things and maybe get you in a better situation so that you don't feel sabotaged.
Okay, in that relationship, in that perspective, how do I deal? You're going to be online. Unless you guys chop up, take the job out. And deal with that when I see somebody who does have I don't mean searching out. When somebody, I never have gone to somebody on the internet who hasn't responded to me. However that plays a perspective in how you deal with the job that you do. For me, once they respond to me, then I have, I don't know, obligation. Do I need to answer them, or do I shut it off? And that is really hard for me. That is really hard. When somebody said hi, after I said hi to them, I mean, just that simple. If I don't respond to them, it says, oh, no, he doesn't care. It's like the 37,000 other people don't care. You know? And I have a real problem with that, because if somebody responds to me, I'll always respond. What do we do?
If you could talk more about the information that you exchanged with Cheyenne as far as pictures or chat.
I did have my webcam, and the webcam did both visual as you see, facial, and
genitalia. How many times would you say?
I would say maybe one or two times, but she has accepted the scene.
And that was on Yahoo.
It was on Yahoo, and it was her. I never forced it on her. She always asked me to have to accept it. But not there is not gentle with it.
Hey, genitalia. So there's multitude of different.
Yeah. But that's only, and again, only because of the fact that that's the way I was at that time. Not that I was. No. Okay, Cheyenne is going to be mine, so let's put it on the pick. No, it was there, it was put on, everything was available. She accepted it, or not accepted it. In most cases, and Cheyenne always accepted it.
Mm-hmm. No, was this in response to the conversation you were
No,
having?
There was usually no conversation in relationship to it. No conversation. No, nothing. Is this an adult cam? No. This cam is available.
When you sent that,
But that's again. But in relationship to other people other than Cheyenne, no, that was contact.
what do you hope when?
If somebody wanted to look at it, they could look at it, decline, look at it, stop, go on, do the way.
Sure.
That was my. That was what I expected them to do. If they didn't want to see it, they didn't do it. If they did see it, they didn't look at it.
So you sent it as something that if she wanted to view it, she could view it. If she didn't,
And I think I would have done that. I would have done that for you on Cheyenne. The way any other people that I you get a response, and you put on my webcam is available. That's it. No more negotiation.
So, when you said that there were webcam shots of your genitalia, what was going on? Was there masturbation involved?
Not in just there was some, there was masturbation in places of people who did have a connection. Okay, in other words, people who stayed with you, short term.
What about with
What about
Cheyenne?
And that may be just very, I don't remember, but I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think it was more like, here's a guy's thing. More, that was more of it.
More of an education for her.
I think so. She was, at least whoever she is. It was more of a
exploratory.
This is what a guy looks like. Yeah. Oh, your boyfriend was like, you ever touched that, your boyfriend? Oh yeah, I touched him once. Nothing more than that for her. That I remember.
And you said you want to do that like 1 or 2 times? So you said something else? Or?
Probably 1 or 2 times. No more than that.
And then tonight, said you were going to be for her in various issues, with her, done with her parents, and
She said her mother was working at the hospital and that she was treated and I don't know, I connected. I gave her my phone number.
gave her phone number.
Which was a big step for me.
Yeah.
Well, a big step for me because number one, I didn't even know where she lived. And then we thought she was out in the last day and driving all the way down.
How'd you find her place there?
Luckily.
Did you get like a map class?
I had originally had a map, but I spent an hour for directions. Or whoever it is.
They were terrible.
Yeah, they were.
So did you have to call her back, or?
She called me, and obviously I was.
And that's where you kind of asked where is this?
Where am I going? What am I doing?
Was it a cell phone? Or your
I had a cell
home
phone. I had a cell phone.
So she was calling you on your cell phone?
Have you ever called her on your cell phone?
Yeah. No, not really.
And tonight, I know a lot of things. You wanted to express certain things. You wanted to. I'm trying to express your feelings, Jim.
Okay,
I'm trying to express your feelings, and because I want to get it right. I don't want to say something that's not right.
Okay.
But tonight, you want to see how she was emotionally, sexually. Does that what kind of when condoms come into play?
With what?
Condoms she had on you?
I wanted to put them in my pocket, which I did last night also. But maybe I shouldn't do it. I put the condoms in my pocket tonight. Something culminated that she went that direction.
You want to still be safe?
Okay. The same reason why I had them in my pocket last night, in case the one I went to the swingers club, I would have them.
And you protect yourself.
I know. Yeah. Number one, I protect myself. Number two, I protect the person.
Just like I said, you care about people. I can understand that you would want, like I said, you didn't want to hurt nobody.
Exactly.
And that's, and that's my, in that direction, you were at least been prepared.
I was prepared if it did it, when it came to that. Which,
Did you want it to be there?
oh yeah, I'd love to do it. Only in the sense that I'm frustrated with that. want this furnace button over there, no, I can go down the list.
Up and down.
I can go down the list, it's been 2 weeks since I had it. And, yeah, I'm frustrated as hell, but expectations of it being there. It really is an aggressive nature. You know,
Your feelings. I mean,
well, but what I'm thinking is, okay, I'm gonna go over and what happened, whatever happened, okay, it's fine. And then I'm thinking about, okay, well, I'm gonna stop over at Ryan. After it's over, maybe there's, you know, Ryan's is over, it's a bar over in the state. And, okay, so, you know, if this like that doesn't happen, or whatever, I know it. That's it.
and I think things would went differently tonight. You were not here. Do you think you could have had a relationship with China? Do you think there was enough connection there? You could have a relationship with her?
I think it's good.
But you did feel connected. You did feel connected to her.
I felt connected to her, but it was too bad.
Okay.
It probably would have been one of those things where we sat down and had the ice cream and that's what's so bad. That's what I was. Maybe she wasn't the same way or whoever. But for me, I really was not trying to.
And
Jim, we've done over that.
Okay, but the point is, you still think that there's some sense of that.
But Jim, if you made a mistake, I can handle it. You made a mistake.
I did not contrive this girl into having sex with me. What I did was I tried to meet with her,
To help her out.
to help her out in what she needs to do. She's going through some stuff with it, if that's really
And
true.
that's
And then I still go on in her life.
and that's different from a predator.
Yeah.
Who
Well, I
takes-
hope so. I hope so.
You know, Jim, I see the difference.
I hope so, because I certainly.
there's a
not there.
clear distinction there.
Okay, well, I just, you know, I don't want that clapped on top of me. I spent many years not keeping away from it, but being aware that it's out there and just being careful, and then they can go, oh, this is.
Well, you've not had any issues before.
No, not at all. No. But the thing is, music teacher, elementary school, there's magnitudes of shit out there. And things like this, if this had ever happened to me, I would have fired from this and on immediately. Because of the fact that there is that stigma, and because of the fact that, you know, I'm Century County, so it doesn't matter. But you should know that. You should know that those qualifications that come along with that territory, and it's not just music teachers, it's other teachers as well, any male teachers from that.
And like I said, I don't see you in that category. And while I'm here, is there anything? I don't think you expect to find anything, but is there anything in your vehicle I can know about? Would you mind if any of the officers would look through?
Oh, I've no doubt.
Okay, so you don't mind if they look through your vehicle?
If they fill up my tires.
Well, I will ask them. I will ask them, but I don't know what you'll get.
The reason I say that because my light came on.
Oh,
so my air pressure is
Well, I will.
No,
I'll let them know.
there is not a damn thing in that car.
But you don't mind them taking
So you
a
don't
look?
mind them
absolutely
searching?
not at all.
You want me to go get those forms?
Yeah,
For you?
I don't do drugs. I don't do that kind of thing. I do drink, but.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Yeah, I've had my drinks and I've done that share of that shit. I was a professional musician for years and years. Never did drugs.
Never did drugs, really?
Did about the only time I took once. Okay, I'll tell you. It was with my ex-wife. I guess we were like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years married. We had our 3rd year. And she's like, so I made arrangements to get this pot from somebody.
Yeah.
I know it is. And we had roadies, little cigarettes and stuff. Couldn't do it. Right? She took a one draw of this. I mean, deathly. I'm telling you, at the end of the whole evening, I had called the doctor, and I had taken the hospital.
So you had a whole night of just her idea.
Oh God!
That was one of the only 2 times. The other time was I was playing a New Year's Eve job in Nashville, Kentucky, and the snow was really bad, and I had helped move some equipment and stuff. I pulled my back, and they took me to the hospital, and they gave me a shot of morphine at that time in Nashville. I swear
You couldn't do that?
I couldn't play. I couldn't play words. They'd hired me for like $100 for that night. You know, I could just that's my drug. I drink vodka. I drink a lot of different things, but probably a couple things tonight.
Couple drinks tonight. And
Yeah.
you said tonight, you said you just had a couple drinks.
Yeah.
A couple vodka tonics, I think you said. Or...
And that's what I usually do. I usually come home, take a couple drinks and just relax.
I get home, just kind of relax a little bit.
And I do it at home. I do, and until I get a phone call that says,
Yeah, we're just talking here right now. That's the main thing. You know,
I really have not done anything wrong here, except for follow up on something that somebody else is provoking me. And
you expect me to do what we talked about, you know.
I just cut it off.
You have things, you feel a connection, you felt a need to help her.
Well, but the thing is,
it
it isn't a real person. So what I do is I cut it off, which is like my Brenda, which is I cut people off and which is probably the most detrimental.
How often do you do that? Every so often, or every time you get close to somebody? Or?
I have somebody that's really close to me right now that if she would come close to me, it would be before. I was dating a couple one person I've been doing, and one person dating. All in one. And all legitimate and all real people. And I said, you know, the real person I want to be with is right here. And so I sent these emails to these other ones and said, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop the machine because I really want to see my person. You don't know. That's hard.
It is hard.
Mainly because I know that she's a person. Anyway, I was thankful that we were the wrong person. And I'm going to switch.
Somebody you work with? Or?
No, actually not. It's somebody who I had acquaintance with. And she's divorced, and everything's fine. She's got older kids. I have older kids. And she just is such Come on in. You're the same person that left.
Yeah. Can I have a chair, please?
Yeah. actually, the person I'm talking about is, Kennedy, you can take it forward, so she's actually a social worker.
Sorry, I'm
No,
sorry
that's
to
all right.
interrupt you
Don't
guys.
do
I know
anything.
you're
Do what you have to do.
chatting and I'll be like,
All right.
She's actually a social worker. She does sexual abuse. And she does exactly what she does, except on medical aspect of it.
This kind of helps people out too.
Basically, she's now a supervisor. She works for a job. All the ones who are looking at
Advisor.
yeah, job and it's part of the state of Ohio. Okay. Anyway, so she's working with them. She's working as a supervisor. She works with basically physical abuse. Used to work with sex abuse.
It's hard.
I mean, I would see her 2-3 times a week, and every time she'd come with another story of somebody doing some crap. But now she's involved. She's a supervisor, but she's a supervisor over this physical abuse. I don't know if it's any worse or better. I mean, she's got 3 times a week. She's got some pretty control.
It's overwhelming.
Oh, it is. It really is. It really is. And I sympathize with that. But that goes along with my feelings here because I respect what she does, and I kind of like I just wish you'd reach a point where you were happy with dealing with that and go to sleep at night knowing that you've done the right decision. It's great. And the divorce was great. My divorce was, well, I saved me. 2 weeks ago, the first time, ex-wife and 4 years were able to set something.
Really? That bad?
It wasn't me, it was her. She couldn't do it. So, we had to listen to it. Let's add it up on the.
What made you guys separate or leave?
Well, to be perfectly honest, the woman I was talking about she wasn't totally committed to me. But I had a relationship with her, and her husband but he admitted actually and I don't know, we connected, actually connected at church. I was an organist, and she was a campfire for one group. And we grew, and I knew her kids. It was really healthy. It was really healthy, except for that he didn't want it to happen, and he didn't know what to do. Lost his control. And but the thing is, I've been trying to over the years and she's got an independence to the point where there's not a control issue anymore. It is, but it's a control issue on her part. I think that come on, I love you. We can have a great life together. I want my independence. That's it.
It sounds like you made peace with it.
I've made peace with it, as long as she understands that I truly do to my I mean, really do. Well, it's okay, but that and 50 cents, what does it get you? You end up being your own neighbor, but you see it. But here's the problem. last 2 weeks, she had a breast exam. And it turned out that there was something that we looked at. So they looked at this thing. And here I am sitting over here. She can't talk to me because if her kids seeing her talking to me, it's like a plague. Her ex-husband is there, and she's worried about it. She doesn't. Then it comes down to that, well, not only the second examiners, but we're going to have a biopsy. I can't do anything. I can't be sore. I can't go in the hospital. I can't say. I can't do anything for her. For fear that there'll be repercussions from an asshole who really doesn't have any control over it. It doesn't make sense. You want to talk about? Yeah, okay. So I'm really frustrated in that aspect because the fact is, I do care about her. I think she died. Her mother died of breast cancer. She's got a couple of places. God, I'm just going through that shit. And I'm thinking, yeah, well, what's the new night?
Somebody else. While emotion. What weighs on me? That weighs on me.
What am I going to say? Well, I'm going to go to the hospital anyway. It just aggravates it. So let's do it. My job is great. I have a great job.
That sounds like it. You said you worked out.
Well, I love it. Don't pay hours. Fuck you. Well, I'll put sample list.
Keep it cordial.
No, I really do love it. I do web pages every day.
Everybody okay?
No, we're just crying like shit.
This is bad.
You missed the emotional part.
Oh, well, I'm glad for
Good.
you and for me, right?
Right. Anyway, I do. I really do love my job. My job is. So we're gonna have to bear with.
Well, we have some housekeeping stuff that we have to take care of first.
Okay.
You want to go ahead?
Yeah, first of all, I've asked you about your business. You said there was nothing in there, nothing in there that we should worry about anything. You had no problem with looking at. All I'm going to ask you to do, if you're willing to do, is just sign that you're okay with that.
Okay.
Let's see.
As long as that's what it says.
Yeah, that's what it'll say.
And you'll have an opportunity to read it.
All night long. No, I really do like my job. It really do. I really like it's clear.
At the university.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of freedom.
But actually, it's very, the University of Cincinnati is really, well, the people I work for are really flexible. I go actually, if it's good one, I go and exercise and go to Lexington.
Oh, yeah.
And then show up back at 7 o'clock.
You have the big one break.
So what's the story on the guys?
Right now, let's just do the housekeeping, and I can give you a little bit more of an answer here. too, like vehicle information.
I'll see.
What kind of vehicle did you have?
It's a Aztec, Pontiac Aztec 2003.
I asked him. I didn't really know. Oh, 2007. Being somebody who does it regularly all the time.
Well, but I think we kind of reached that issue, you know, as, you know, we talked about that, and I think we will address those issues, you know.
2003 Pontiac Aztec, four-door wagon sport utility.
That sounds good. How much were you giving me for it?
I don't know. I'm not that good.
I was ready to sell it a year ago and they wouldn't give me that.
That's the way it goes. They depreciate so fast as soon as you pull them off the lot.
See if I can do this.
Okay.
So, have either one of you taken a master's degree online program at USO?
No, have you set it? Did you set it up?
I have been there since the very beginning of it, and I'm pretty much involved with it.
Yeah, the mechanics of it online.
I do the delivery for it. We've got top-notch people.
Yeah. Have to look into it. Yeah.
But you can agree in 2 years.
Really? Who accredited them?
It's accredited by people who accredit university education department. You can give them a call.
Yeah.
Because there's no accreditation department for criminal justice at this point in the state of Ohio. I don't know if it's going to happen in other ways, but in the state of Ohio it isn't.
I have to look at it.
I mean, if you're looking for a master's degree, it's an easy way to go. Coursework isn't too bad. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
I work
Go ahead.
I work with all the professors that do the delivery, and so whatever tests they would run, whatever kind of we call modules, there's 5 modules. Every course is a 5-week course, and it's about just off the top of my head, about $2,000 per quarter. So if you're talking 2 years, you're talking 16 quarters. That's about $30,000. But it gets you a master's degree in criminal justice. It's a master's degree in science, a master of science degree, master of science degree in criminal justice from one of the top criminal justice programs in the country. It's right now UC is number 5. These are coming off the actual professors who look at stuff. I don't know if you know that.
No.
But they're the people who are changing what happened. What you guys do there and what happened.
Yeah. Has their program been really successful? The online?
The online program, we started 5 years ago with 15 students, we now have over 16.
Wow.
And,
that's phenomenal growth.
Well, and it brings in about $1 million profit. Okay, what am I signing?
All right, we'll do this first one here. Okay. This is for your vehicle, my circle vehicle, located at Highland Heights Police Department, on Heights, Kentucky, 1476. And more particularly describes a 2003 Pontiac Aztec, Ohio plate DG73LC, and your VIN number Well, that.
Yes, if I
Well, most people, some people do know. I granted consent to Detective Tom Mitchke, which is me. Known to me, I marked that out, detective with the Campbell County Police Department, and such other officers deemed necessary to assist. I know that I have the right to refuse to consent, and I have voluntarily given up that right. I know that the agent does not have to have a search warrant.
You want to search the fucking car.
Well,
Yeah, you need to, right?
I have not been threatened or coerced in any way, and I have not been promised any favor.
Is that what I just did?
No. I have read this consent form, or it has been read to me, and I understand it. So
I understand it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I need you to sign your name there, print it, and put your address, and then we'll sign this letter.
Okay. It's good to know this.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
we could have made much out of the signature.
But that isn't a real sign.
Yeah.
Sure.
All this here. Just one other piece of housekeeping here.
Are you ready?
Yes. The only, no, you can't see. The only other thing is, I know you said you had nothing in your house. Do you have anything inside your residence there on Brandy Way? Is there anything in there that would give us any concern? You said you didn't have anything.
You have, the only thing that you would have would be the computer things, but you have all the references to that.
Do you have a problem with anybody looking in there to make sure there's nothing of...
Well, so want to see my junk today.
I'm sorry. Would you got me off guard there. Jim, you got me.
Yeah, we're
Did I really?
Jim, you got me.
it's late.
Yeah, it's late.
Sorry. No, there's nothing on there. I don't keep pornography on there. I don't distribute pornography. If somebody wants to go in there and go through and find some sort of program that I have,
There's no kiddie porn or anything like
no,
that. And everything they're going to find is adult stuff.
no, I'm not even talking about this. I'm talking about if somebody goes in there and find out that I have a piece of software that I
Oh, like
or somebody
Flores or
else,
something.
that there might be something like that, but there's none now. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Go in.
You have no problem with that?
No.
Okay. Well, what I'll do, I'll just do another consent if you don't have a problem with that.
Okay, but does that mean that they come in and take my computers away and cause me a problem not to be able to work?
Well, that could be an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if there's information, if they deem that it feels like it could have some information that they may need, that is a possibility.
So give me some help here.
I can't tell you what to do. It's up to you.
I don't want to seem like I'm not cooperative because I really am cooperative
Yeah.
because I really don't have the kiddie porn shit on there. If they want to do that,
Right.
if there's kiddie porn shit on there, somebody else will put it on there from some site or something. But in the same regard, I need to be able to use my computer.
Well, it's up to you if you want to consent or not. I'm not leaving that up to
We
you.
can't make you any promises on
Yeah,
how
I can't
quick
say
you
no,
would
we're not-
get
What
it
if I don't
back or
sign
not.
it? What happens if I don't sign it?
Then you don't sign
You
it.
don't find it.
It's
Only-
completely
only-
your call.
Okay, but in lieu of the conversation that we just had, I'm not putting you on the spot, but that is my reason for doing it.
Okay. That's fine.
I have to have access to my computer. I have to have it in order to do my job.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force you to, sign anything if you don't feel you want, and I understand your reasons. That's fine. And I'll just leave it at that. I think for right now I don't have anything else.
You want to do the statement?
Yeah.
You want to know the code statement?
Yeah. The last thing here, I overlooked it here. Would you be willing to write a written statement of what happened tonight?
Oh, well, I'd like that. I wish we had one.
Would you like to write a written
Or
statement?
do I
Your
have to
own.
write one?
Your own written
It
statement.
depends on what you're gonna come up with. If you come up, so, it's so negative, then I'm a pervert, and that I want.
No, this is from you. This is your account of what happened.
What I'm saying is what, I don't know what you have there, so.
It's basically,
It's a blank
it's
statement.
a voluntary statement. It's blank. It just lets you know you're right.
It lets me know my rights.
It lets you know you're right.
If I don't put anything that does that relinquish my rights.
Yeah, if you don't want to write anything, you don't have to. It's totally voluntary. This is not something I'm just giving you the opportunity.
Okay, I'm just trying to clear it.
Okay.
I know the legal system, and I'll screw around with it.
That is
Right.
fine. I think that's everything I have for right now. I guess what we'll do is you'll go with another officer for right now. Yeah, it's just a little bit of clerical.
Just paperwork so that whenever they get you there, they can process you quickly. Okay, we got this. You want me to grab this?
Yeah,
Is there anything else I need to know about the people we
I'll hang here until you get.
No, as of right now, there's nothing I can really tell you right now. Other than
just say it.
yeah, just
Yeah,
hang tight
you
with
just
her.
hang tight, and I'll hang here with you until we get somebody in here. Okay?
I'm joking.
Yeah. Tough night.
No. I mean, I don't use it as I would use it.
How old did you say you were? You've seen a lot of life.
My father was killed when he was 2 years old.
Really?
He was shot in the back. And my mother was 7.
Wow.
And she brought me up and called.
Oh, really?
Yep. No. How my sister and half sister and always, they're always, you don't. You never know. I did need to answer your question, but it really does. It's more intuitive than you think. Actually, my mother's said something in our history that always comes back. And my mother's brother-in-law was like the head of the Democratic Party I really didn't know, but we go down, I mean, we're talking about 30 years ago. We go down and we go, I wouldn't scroll in his house. It was that down home. And I don't know what you really want. If there was something in the history, something back in the history of my family and not that you want to hide, but all these people do it. No, and I was going to do that. I was out front in the ocean. I played a drink places.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played county. I really have. I play it. There's been country playing since then. Listen, this is probably not going to go time before I'm taking March. Since then, we walked in and March went right after at the same time. And I said, away. She was hungry. This was cool.
By the time I finished my first set, the Cincinnati Company, stone. This was years before all the controversies of the configured. This is before she even had leadership. Oh, who else have I known? I've seen Bobcats and seen Bobcats white and slippers under. No, never paid. Never paid. Oh, we've played so many games.
So what?
I play keyboard. I don't do too much of it anymore. I'll play the rhythm and stuff and play. I played the wedding. I played the organs too. I played for 24 years out in Milton Methodist Church. $125 2 nights. I played at a Christian church in Covington a couple weeks ago. One service. Lousy service the week before Palm Sunday. Walked in, did a rehearsal with the choir. But that's the kind of money that I was making.
See what's going on.
I'm going to go back and do it. Okay, just take it.
All right? We're gonna be a few minutes to get your citation filled out and everything, and then, we'll just go over there and see you get it. You probably will. All right? You hang tight, and we'll be back to Hey, Gina, we got one other housekeeping issue. Now, when you came in, you had cell phone, and what else did you have with you?
A bill pole and fees, my money.
Okay, did you have, what are those things called? A Trio or Blackberry or?
Trio was my phone.
Okay. We would like to take a look at it. Would you give me consent to do so?
Absolutely.
Okay. So that'd be property, and we got consent to complete search of property located at It was on your person, right?
Mhm.
Okay, and it's a trio?
Treo, T-R-E-O.
And you had a cell phone in addition to that,
No,
or it's all one thing?
It's not one.
Okay. And is there anything else that I would use to describe it?
No, not really. Except for the addresses and what to do? I don't know. I watched Friday today, actually. No wonder I'm tired.
Yeah. Okay, let's go over this and make sure it reads correctly. I hereby consent to complete search of the property located on my person, and more particularly described as Treo, T-R-E-O. I grant this consent to Agent Catherine Reed, known to me to be an agent of the Office of the Attorney General, and to such other officers deemed necessary to assist. I know that I have a right to refuse to consent, and I voluntarily give up that right. I know that the agent does not have a search warrant. I have not been threatened or coerced in any way, nor have I been promised any favor or benefit. I have read this consent form, or it has been read to me, and I understand it. The date is April 13th, 2007, and this time is 1:50 a.m. All right, and he's working on the citation. He's almost done with that. He can get you out of here. Clean it up, okay?
Whatever happens, happens.
All right, thanks. Hey, Jim,
Yes.
can we get the number on that, the cell number for that?
I don't really know.
You don't know your cell number?
No, I really don't. I'm trying to think of
Well, I'll give you a minute to think.
It's on the phone. If you get the phone, I really seriously don't know what it is. I never used it as, I never call it, call that number.
Is there anything else that identifies it as such?
It's Verizon. It sends directly from my 831 number, from my home number. Kind of wish I knew what it was.
What do you mean it sends directly from your 831?
I have my 831 my home always forward to it. I never use my landline. I just don't know what the number is. It's been so long since I've done it.
Okay, so you're 513
831
831
9425.
9425.
forwards to that number, whatever it is. And I really seriously, it's on the phone. If somebody's on the phone, you can get it. It's right there. It tells you.
Okay.
It's Verizon.
Verizon. Cell service.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't even know what it starts with. I really don't have any idea what it starts with.
Did you get it in Cincinnati or
Yeah,
service
yeah.
come out of Cincinnati?
Yeah, it's just over in Beachmont.
So it's a 513.
Yeah,
There
I
you
just
go.
don't know what the next numbers are. I'd be guessing. Really be guessing.
So when you use it, you just give people your landline number
Yeah,
and they.
and it forwards to my phone.
Okay.
That's really what I want to know.
All right. All right. Well, I'll see if that's enough information. If not, we may have to back up and talk.
No, I hope not.
Thank you.
Getting tired. Mhm.